Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, exam day is literally right around the corner. So first things first, take a deep breath. We are going to give you the ultimate, zero fluff, high-yield blueprints to absolutely crush the digital SAT math section. Let's get right to it. Okay, so 1029. That is the average SAT math score right now out of over 2 million testers. But we aren't here for average today. With this blueprint, we're going to bypass the middle of that bell curve and help you capture those top-tier points.
Here's our rapid-fire agenda for today. We're covering the big picture, the four math domains, beware, the algebra trap, analyzing charts and graphs, and finally, exactly what you must memorize.
All right, diving right into Section 1, the big picture. Now, I want you to go ahead and breathe a massive sigh of relief here. Forget about calculus, logarithms, matrices. They literally aren't on this test. The digital SAT is heavily focused on foundational arithmetic, things like PEMDAS and fractions. It's way less about advanced theory and a lot more about just applying the basics.
Moving right along to Section 2, the four math domains.
Take a look at this breakdown. A whopping 70% of the test focuses purely on algebra and advanced math. The rest is made up of problem solving and data analysis at 15%, plus geometry and trigonometry at 15%. Crucial tip for exam day, though, these topics do not show up in order. Everything is mixed together, but it's arranged by difficulty. So heavily rely on your built-in Desmos calculator as you navigate between them.
Which brings us to Section 3. Beware, the algebra trap.
Think about math in terms of numbers, not letters that stand for numbers. This is such a huge point. Test writers deliberately word algebra questions to confuse you. They're basically hoping you'll make those common math class mistakes. But you can completely sidestep their traps by simply thinking in terms of actual numbers, not letters.
And that's exactly where PETA comes in. It stands for plugging in the answers. Think about it. You don't go to the grocery store and buy X eggs, right? You buy 12. By working backward from the answer choices and plugging them right into the equation, you turn abstract algebra into simple arithmetic. And that is absolutely perfect for your Desmos calculator.
Check out this complex equation here. Instead of agonizing over isolating the variable through, 5 painful steps, just substitute an easy number. If you plug in x equals 2 and calculate both sides, the correct answer balances out perfectly. You get zero guesswork and practically zero chance of a misplaced negative sign ruining your score.
All right, let's look at Section 4, analyzing charts and graphs.
So, the College Board absolutely loves real-world scenarios. Finance, business, social science, scientific matters, you name it. But seriously, don't let those massive paragraphs intimidate you. A lot of times, these are just intense reading comprehension problems in a math disguise. Your only goal is to just extract the math.
For example, if you're faced with a scatter plot of television sales like this one, do not overthink the economics. Just read the axes, spot that negative correlation, and trust the specific data points they're asking for. Let the numbers guide you, not the overarching narrative.
And finally, we are at Section 5, what you must memorize.
For statistics, having your definitions memorized is basically half the battle. Remember, the word median literally sounds exactly like middle. The mode is just the most frequent number. The range is the highest number minus the lowest. And standard deviation, that's really just how spread out the numbers are. Lock these in before you walk into the testing center.
For geometry and trig, you've got to know that a circle always contains 360 degrees. Make sure you know your basic lines, angles, triangles, and volume formulas. Now, yes, you do have a reference sheet on the test, but relying on it is going to drain the clock. Memorize the basics and use the sheet only as a backup. So there it is. You have the blueprint. You know exactly what topics to ignore, you've got your formulas down, and you know how to turn their sneaky algebra traps into basic arithmetic. The only question left is, will you let the SAT play you? Or are you ready to play the SAT? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Now get out there and crush that exam.